let's look at some of the top trending political stories, or stories making headlines in the political scene. Let's begin with the Supreme Court judgment which nullified the sacking of Anyanwu as PDP National Secretary. The Supreme Court has nullified the judgment of the Court of Appeal and Federal High Court which sacked Samuel Anyanwu as the National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court held that the debate over who is the PDP National Secretary borders on the internal affairs of a party which is not justiciable. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court held that the issue of who is the National Secretary of the PDP borders on the internal affairs, and so there shouldn't be any intrusion. Justice Jamilu Toko, who delivered the lead judgment of the Supreme Court, consequently struck out the judgment of the trial court delivered and also set aside the majority judgment of the Court of Appeal, which in December affirmed the sack of Anyanwu as PDP National Secretary. Let's just take a look at some of the reactions from some of the interest groups in that story.
For the record, the Supreme Court held that the matter filed by Emmanuel Anyanwu at the Enugu High Court relates to the leadership position of the PDP, that is National Secretary of PDP. And that is an internal affair of the PDP, and therefore the court lacks jurisdiction. Secondly, that the said plaintiff, Anyanwu Emmanuel, lacks the local standing to pursue that suit, that he was a meddlesome interloper, and therefore ought not to have filed the suit at all. And the courts ought not to have entertained it at all. And therefore the judgments, the concurrent judgments were all set aside.
I have not defeated anybody. I'm here to continue my work as National Secretary of the party, pending when the next convention will come. Probably I'll find my way out or I'll move on with life. But as now, as it remains, till 9th December 2025, I remain the National Secretary of PDP. And I'm here. I didn't win anybody.
Okay, Samuel Anyanwu there, the last commenter in that report. And a long road as we move towards 2027 with a lot of political intrigues, interest as it relates to who becomes what in 2027. Certainly we'll see more of that. Let's quickly move on to our next story. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure Esquire, has assured a former managing director of National Inland Waterways Authority, Dr. George Mogalu, that he would create a level playing field for every aspirant to compete for the party's ticket ahead of the November governorship poll in Anambra State. This was even as the LP national chairman vowed that he had no anointed candidate or personal interest in the April 5 primary election. He made the pledge when Mogalu returned his completed expression of interest and nomination forms to the party secretariat in Abuja on Friday. He said, "I want you to take it to the bank that it is the people of Anambra, and more precisely LP members, that will determine who flies the party's ticket." Okay, now let's move on to other story. The governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebolo, has dissociated himself from the position of the South-South governors on President Bola Tinubu's declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State, while Governor Okpebolo acknowledges the right of other governors in the South-South geopolitical zone to take a position. He, however, dissociated himself from any statement that opposes the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary, CPS, to the governor, Fred Itwa, disclosed that the governor's position on the issue was neither made with his knowledge nor contribution. The position by the governors of the South-South opposing the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu did not get the nod of Governor Okpebolo, maintaining that Governor Okpebolo was neither consulted nor informed. Okay, and then the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has revoked the land occupancy rights of the National Secretariat of his party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Abuja. The FCTA said the PDP has not paid the annual fee in the last 19 years. The party has not commented on the development as of first time. The letter dated March 13, 2025, and addressed to the PDP National Chairman, Omar Damakun. The Director of Land Administration of the FCTA, Chijoke Nwakoze, hinged the revocation on the non-payment of ground rent by the party. So which means for 19 years, the party didn't make that payment, and which means perhaps for the time that the party held sway in the affairs of the country politically, they were not paying ground rent. And now the hammer has fallen on them.